This is Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony on FM 92.7 and AM 1400. The Answer.
Welcome back to Detroit's Morning Answer. Now, we got to get really quickly into this interview because Johnathan is a very sought-after person, and I know he's on hold with Fox News right now. He's a former Navy SEAL, a federal air marshal, FBI special agent, police officer, and now he's a private security contractor. Author of the book, Sheep No More, The Art of Awareness and Attack Survival. Johnathan, my friend, thank you so much. I know you're a busy man. I've seen you everywhere. Welcome back to Detroit's Morning Answer.
Good to be with you, my friend.
Now, what I want to talk about with you real quick is walk us through what a proper security assessment looks like, especially for these high-profile events. What layers of protection should have been in place before anyone even stepped on that stage?
Well, they should have done a complete assessment of that area where that thing was going to happen, that event, and they look at it from the attacker's point of view. You say, what is the avenue of approach that if I was going to attack, what is the avenue of approach that I would take? And then once you understand the avenue of approach you would take, the type of attack, the best time for that to happen, you start looking, you flip the switch now and you go from attacker to defender and you start looking for ways to potentially mitigate that circumstance. And when, for instance, if I would have been there doing the security for Charlie, I would have instantly picked up on the rooftops and the elevated areas around. I would have then coordinated with the venue and with the university and law enforcement, asking if they could shut those areas down. This, unfortunately, is where we run into most of the problems, is that the venue or law enforcement is either nowhere to be found or they're just not interested in doing what you asked them to do. And in this case, I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that those high grounds were not secured, that the roofs weren't secured, and that's how this occurred again.
Now, Johnathan, I really want you to plug what you do as far as being a security contractor. If somebody is a high profile listening to this show in Michigan, Illinois, and across this country, how can they get in contact with someone like you to say, hey, we need your expertise here to come with, this is the venue. How can we contact you?
I mean, they can always find me at, if you search my name, Johnathan Gilliam, JonathanTGilliam.com. They can find me there. I'm all over social media with the beard, Johnathan Gilliam.
But, and the bald head.
And the bald head, yeah, that's correct. And so, the thing is, what I do is crisis management. Security is a part of that. Threat assessments are a part of that. But crisis management is where we look at this issue and we say, how do we mitigate or totally stop the possibility of this thing happening before it occurs? We do this every day in our own life, John.
Yeah.
You go out to the bar and you have a few drinks. You've already thought, I'm going to take an Uber home or I'm going to call a friend. That's crisis management. You're forward thinking the issue. That's what we do in security. We just look at it from the attacker's point of view if it's done right. And that's another problem, is that you have a lot of people saying that they're experts and they're really not. And,
now, Johnathan,
that's a big problem.
Johnathan, the photo of a alleged suspect or a person of interest has been released. Why do you believe they hesitated to release that and the video? What are the risks or benefits of withholding that information from the FBI?
I don't think there is a benefit much anymore, unless they already know the person and there's more people involved or something. It's really institutional inbreeding. I think law enforcement is not comfortable sharing stuff with the public because, the public can be a problem sometimes, just like on social media. But this is an evolution in information dissemination that I think law enforcement needs to evolve as well and use the citizenry as a force multiplier. They're not comfortable with that, and that's where we need to go.
So what ripple effect do you think this assassination will have on not just national security for political figures? Charlie wasn't a political figure, but for just everyday Americans who now wonder whether leaders are being adequately protected. Because now, I mean, if average everyday Americans like Charlie Kirk, he may have led a movement and helped get President Trump reelected, but if they're coming after people like him, people like me and you, because I'm now starting to take the threats that I get now seriously, Johnathan.
Well, we should, because they're showing that they're willing to carry out attacks. I mean, the left is full of hate. Charlie Kirk, for instance, was full of love, and he never degraded people. If people challenged him, he didn't let them dominate them. But he always gave the left the opportunity to speak, but he didn't give them the opportunity to dominate. Yeah. And they killed him for it. Yeah. And that's exactly what they'll do to us if we give them a chance. There's a problem there that it's a national security issue in this nation that has to be looked at and confronted. And we need to, just like I was talking about, evolve in the way that law enforcement uses the public as a force multiplier. There needs to be an evolution in how we investigate national security issues that are of a domestic origin.
Yeah. But, Johnathan, this is why I love your book, Sheep No More, The Art of Awareness and Attack Survival. Please tell the people why just reading your book will give them skills to understand this a lot better in practical terms. I mean, where a sixth grader could understand.
This book, what it does is it shows you how to look at yourself from the attacker's point of view. It shows you how to do what I do on a daily basis, which I'll be the first person to tell you. It's not rocket science. The difference is I was trained as an attacker, as a Navy SEAL, but I was also trained as a defender, and that's how, as a law enforcement officer. So that's where I came up with the attack and defend mindset and switch that you can flip back and forth. But listen, we do this all the time. Moms do it with their kids. Moms are the small unit commanders of the world, and they do this back and forth. If I was an attacker, here's where I would attack, and how do I defend against that? And so that's what the book shows you. It gives you a skill set and stories that case examples of how you could see this, and you can do it yourself.
I think I'm getting ready to lose you, so I'm going to let you go. Trump on Kurt Suspect, I think we have him. So I know I'm probably going to lose you. I'm going to let you go now so that you can prepare for your interview with Fox News. Johnathan, I love you, brother. You be safe because now you become the face of threat assessments. I really do believe that. I love you, my brother, and be safe.
Love you too, my friend. And, brother, you be safe.
I will, sir.
Promise me that.
I promise you. I promise you that, sir. Thank you. That's Johnathan T. Gilliam.
God bless.
Johnathan T. Gilliam. He's a former Navy SEAL officer, a federal air marshal, and an FBI special agent in New York. He's also worked in counterterrorism and criminal investigation. He was also a former police officer. It looks like President Trump just announced. I think we have him. So we'll come. You want me to cut the break now? Cut the break. Okay, we're gonna cut the break. We'll come back and I'll look up to see what's going on with this suspect and if they do have him. You're listening to Detroit's Morning Answer. If they got him, God bless the United States of America. We'll be right back.